welcome back to another episode of the Bingeverse. Before we dive into the content and what we've been watching, Maya and Ant, how are you all doing?
I'm doing amazing. I got my Eternals tickets. I'm
Oh.
so excited. Right when they went on sale, I got mine. Got a perfect middle seat for Dolby. So I'm really excited to go see that in theaters and get my ticket.
Damn, sorry. I didn't buy mine yet because I don't know where I'm gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna be in Columbus or Cincinnati yet. So
Gotcha.
we're gonna see. I'm gonna get them though.
I was actually in the theater today wondering when tickets were going to go on sale. So I knew if I asked you, you would know. And here we are.
Yep, they're out.
You gotta get that the AMC updates.
I know I need to turn those notifications on. I feel like the only time they ever send me notifications is, hey, you still haven't signed up for the subscription
A-list.
for A-list. So I need to get some promotional.
I feel like how much that you go to the theater, Bria, you maybe like A-list is a good investment.
Yes.
After 2 movies, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
$20 a month, you see 3 movies a week. Oh my God, it's the best deal. And you can do Dolby, IMAX, it doesn't matter. I think it's a great deal.
The Prime? Oh my God. Their Prime is different. Their Prime theater is crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was the one that wasn't A-list, but it was something else?
Stubbs, AMC Stubbs.
No, it wasn't AMC. It was some other random company.
Oh, Movie Pass.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think I almost signed up for that. And then they sent out this announcement like, hey, we're going bankrupt. I was like, yeah, I don't know how that was profitable, but here we are. So, Aunt, how are you?
Excellent.
Okay.
I guess spooky season. You're happy about that from the costume?
You know the vibes. And got a new trailer today. Check out my trailer dropped.
Okay, I can edit this part out, but Aunt, your audio is kind of muffled.
That's the mask. I'll just speak up.
Okay, that's fine.
I guess the mask is critical.
All right. Okay, perfect. I'm doing good as well. I had kind of a busy day. I actually went and saw Venom this afternoon, and then I think I'm getting sick. I think it's just allergies and my sinuses are all over the place. And finals week is next week, so I've been all over the place. But besides that, yeah, it's a lot going on. But overall, I'm good as well.
Good luck on finals.
Yeah, for real.
It's just a lot of my professors, my school really claims that the professors are top notch and like experts in the field, which they are, but that doesn't make them good teachers. So that's where things go wrong, is that they dedicate their life to this whole subject and then they don't know how to teach it because they're just experts in it. So I feel like I have to teach myself a lot of the subjects, but we'll figure it out.
Oh goodness, good luck with that.
Thank you. So what were some of the things that, there were a lot of different releases and trailers that came out this past, well, since the last time we met, so 2 weeks or so ago. What were some of the trailers and releases that you all saw that you're excited for coming up?
Scream dropped today.
You Scream? I didn't even see the trailer. Wow.
Personally a fan of that. The Venom are back. They got the OG cast. They got younger cast too. I like the direction they're going with the Michael Myers movie too as well.
Yeah.
They're trying to fight back. About time. They got guns too. Being smart.
Guns for Mike Myers, finally.
Modern times.
Yeah, I saw that trailer today when I was watching Venom. I was like, oh, this looks kind of good. I actually might watch it. It doesn't look like, super gory, so it might be something good to watch.
I just want them to have a scene where Mike Myers is like 30 seconds of just like running as fast as he can, because that man can't just be walking and then somehow be right there when someone is running. That'd be funny if they had like a take of him just running really fast. But you can only wish.
I want them to throw the OG scene from the first screen where the girl tries to crawl the doggy door. Just dumb. But I need that back in the movie.
Oh gosh.
What else? What else did you guys see?
Saw the Colin in black and white trailer. Is this the first trailer we have for it, or is this just an expanded one?
I think this is the first.
The first one I've seen.
Same.
It looks good. I mean, I'm always curious. I had no idea he had two white parents. Like, this is the first I know.
I'm either.
I knew about it, so I didn't. Yeah, so that's really interesting. So I'm really excited to know about his early life. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to know like how honest they are going to be about like, because I mean, like obviously we think of him in a very like high regard, but I wonder how dramatized it's going to be for the sake of like trying to make a linear path to where the Colin Kaepernick that we know today. I don't know. I can't help but I remember the trailer they showed like the black girlfriend. I'm like, do you really have a black girlfriend?
Yeah.
I feel like growing up, all the black football players all had white girlfriends. I don't know. So I'm like, but you know, I'm sure they'll be very telling and honest about it, because you know it's easy to call those things out.
Right. Yeah. I realized that I don't know much about his life either. So that'll be an interesting watch too.
All right. They also dropped the Home Sweet Home Alone. I don't know if I spelled the wrong if that's the actual title, but yeah, they dropped that, and I wish they didn't.
They're oh my god, they're rebooting Home Alone.
Yes.
For the fourth time now.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this was the little the boy from Jojo Rabbit. Oh, I loved him.
From what?
The Taika Waititi movie. Oh man, he was a little boy. Oh wow. But
yeah, they could have kept it. I don't know who Jojo Rabbit is, but that trailer was not it.
Really,
I don't like. They had the. I guess I'm assuming they were husband and wife or boyfriend girlfriend, whatever, as like the two home invaders or whatever. They didn't care for that. I don't know.
yeah,
They could have kept it.
yeah. So many like I feel like reboots. Oh, it's gonna be exclusive to Disney Plus. Okay.
Should be exclusive to the trash.
Oh my gosh.
I just don't understand.
The trash. Despite season 8 of Game of Thrones being complete garbage, House of Dragons coming. We got a trailer for that, and that's about to be heat. I'm ready for
It
it.
looks really good.
I know.
I would definitely be watching.
Hopefully they redeem themselves from that last season of the series, because I
Isn't
don't
it
want to give up on
the writers?
What'd you say?
Isn't it different writers?
I wouldn't know. I'm not sure.
I think it is. I don't think it's the same writers.
Well, that's good. That's promising.
Mhm.
I think the writers changed for the last season of Game of Thrones in the first place too. I heard there were a couple of things that went into why the finale was so trash, but I think that they changed the writers for that last season, and then maybe they're back to the normal ones this season. I'm not sure, but we'll see. And then the other trailer that I saw that I also wish didn't happen is that they're rebooting the game.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I think that's an awful idea, because the game already took a downgrade when it went to, what was it? It was on BET, and then the CW bought it.
CW.
Yeah.
That's where all shows go to die.
Yeah, literally, it went completely downhill after it went that way, and then now they're rebooting it. So I just can't imagine how it would be any better. I watched the trailer for that, and it's not really clear, what's going on. It just says, we're gonna win a championship for Vegas, which is pretty much the premise of the whole first couple seasons. I
Mhm.
didn't see Tia Mowry. Tasha Mack is back. And
Mhm.
then her son, what was it? Malik Puchal?
Yeah, Malik.
Yeah, he's back. But I didn't really see any other faces that I recognize. So
Yeah, and
I don't
Duran
know where they're
didn't
gonna
make
take
it.
this. Huh?
Duran was like my crush, like growing up. I'm like, man, he's not
No,
gonna be on
same.
it.
I don't think he is. Maybe I just didn't see him, but
Oh yeah, I don't see him in any of this.
yeah. I'm not looking forward to that. And between that reboot and Home Alone, I just am not a fan of reboots that go over the same thing that already happened. Like Home Alone 1, okay, that was good. But then Home Alone 2 and 3 all had the same exact premise. And it was like, what are they possibly gonna do with 4? So yeah, not a big fan of that, but
It seemed like they tried to go like with the exact like same storyline as like the first one.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I just think there's a little bit of creativity to be had um when you're working with movies that are like that, especially Christmas movies. But I understand keeping the theme too, I guess.
Hmm.
All right, we got Dune. I don't know. I don't feel like we haven't talked much about that, but there's a trailer. I feel like there's a trailer for it every single week.
I know. I think this is the last trailer, right?
Yeah.
Or teaser trailer, whatever it's called. It looks good. I mean, the sad thing is, it's just I hate that with the press screening was like weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so I hate when there's such a long lead time. So I've seen so many negative reviews already.
Yeah.
And
Same.
it's like, oh my gosh, like a teaser after the press is already saying that it's not that good. So I'm curious to know, like, I'm gonna still see it in theaters, but I'm not as excited as I was beforehand.
I didn't know about it, so I mean, there's all the trailers. I'm like, this I might be interested in. So I'm gonna go check it out. They got my girl Zendaya in it. Um, I'm interested to see how her character is.
Hmm.
Argument about her acting skills, so I want to see how she does in this.
What argument? What is the argument about her acting skills?
It says she plays the same character, um, so she can't act.
I feel like you can be a good actor and not have range, like Will Smith. But like, I mean, not everyone has range, but I feel like she's a great actress.
I said,
But
but
I mean, I can, if people say that she doesn't have range, I guess that's a whole separate discussion in my eyes. Like Brad Pitt, I don't think he has range, but he's a great actor. But that's interesting. I didn't know that that was a debate. So yeah, I guess we'll see in Dune.
we got Paranormal Activity next to Kin trailer drop for that. I used to love those movies. I don't know why. They were not good, but I liked watching them. I had the first two on DVD. So I'm personally looking forward to that. Um, then even more excited, I got a new Resident Evil movie coming. Love Resident Evil. It's one of my favorite series, video and movies. Um, Not much to say about that. Trailer was cool. It's definitely interesting. So I'm gonna check that out for sure. Um,
It's called Welcome to Raccoon City.
yep. It looks like they're gonna do like a lot of the storyline from like the video games, which should be.
Gotcha. You know, the scary movies are not my ministry, but happy that you're excited about that, Aunt.
I just watched two before we started this call. About to finish another one after this.
Mm,
In my bag.
yeah, spooky
Probably,
season is upon us.
I'll probably watch Paranormal Activity. I usually don't do movies like that just because of the whole spirit aspect, but
Yeah.
I liked the first two when I think they were like teenagers when those came out, but
Yeah.
I liked those, so I'll probably tune in to this other one. We talk about this time.
Then we got Eternals. You got the final trailer for that.
Mm-hmm. Disney.
I'm just ready for it to come out.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. And then literally the week after is Disney Plus Day, where we're about to, I'm sure, I'm like predicting, I'm sure everyone is, that they're going to be announcing Fantastic Four and probably all these new series that they're going to drop again like they did last year on the Disney Investor Day. So I'm really excited just for November in general for Marvel.
I don't be caring about those events when they drop stuff because they be like, Black Panther 3 dropping in 2027. Well, I don't care. That's 5 years from now. What the heck?
That's not 2027, but
What's going on
I
next?
mean, look at it. We're about to already be in 2022. So
Right. It gives you something to look forward to.
That's still 5
exactly.
years. I have to survive for 5 years. And Biden is America.
Oh my gosh. But I like it too, just knowing what they're gonna build up to. There's so many different characters. So I feel like when they announced like Ironheart and Armor Wars and just seeing how they're gonna go after Endgame was really exciting. So if they're about to announce more, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's about to be insane. Probably get a lot of casting announcements too.
I mean, it's exciting, but at the same time, it's like, man, just let me know what's dropping next week. That's all I care about. I
Well,
don't
for
care about what
me,
I can't watch for another 5 years. They haven't even casted for it. Well,
I'm just taking all that in because I have to just any sort of article I can take. That's what I just love the anticipation of it all. But I
Yeah.
totally get what you're saying because now they made announcements up through 2023. So yeah, if we get any more announcements, it's going to be at 2024 and beyond. So, or 2023 and beyond.
Mhm.
Alright, well, our show dropping this Friday.
I'm
You
geeked.
Not that you have the knife too.
If you can't see, Aunt is wearing a Scream mask.
That's from QVC.
From where?
QVC got a steal on it.
Oh.
$4.95 plus shipping and handling.
Not $4.95. That's funny. Oh.
All right, we're gonna get right into this. Venom 2.
Yeah. So, initial thoughts. I know, Brie, you're just fresh from seeing the film.
Hey,
What did y'all think?
hold on. He dying over
I'm sorry.
there?
I'm having like a coffee attack right now. It's just I'm not feeling too good. And then I also had to switch locations because there was people in our study room today. So it's like, well, I can't be in here recording and they're all talking in the background. So yes, sorry. Can we start over? That's
No problem. So yes, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, the second movie of the franchise. How did y'all like the movie? Just overall thoughts.
Garbage. Waste of time. Waste of time. I was so mad. I was just sitting there like, wow, is this gonna be over yet? And it just wasn't over yet.
That's crazy though, because it's like the shortest runtime I've seen in a while. 90 minutes for a superhero movie.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that was fast.
Yeah. What about you, Bria?
I saw it today. I went this afternoon. I didn't have the best experience at the theater because I went to a different theater than I saw Shang-Chi at. And the theater that I went to was really old and like worn down and kind of dirty. It was an AMC, but it was just kind of gross. So I feel like I was thinking about that for a lot of it. But as far as the movie itself, I liked it. It was just really predictable. I wasn't like at the edge of my seat for any of the scenes. Like there was a lot that went on that I just knew, oh, that's gonna happen, and then it did. So it wasn't. I like movies with sometimes twists and turns and that are done very well in that aspect, and I feel like it didn't really hit the mark that way for me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I know a lot of people didn't like the first Venom film. I really enjoyed it. Um, so I felt like everything around like Carnage, we didn't get Carnage until what, halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
And Carnage is like such a like cool, like visually stunning villain. So it would have been nice to see a little bit more of him, but I just I kind of agree there that it was very predictable. And then like the whole Cletus Cassidy storyline, I just felt was like just super like fast tracked. And but I think the highlight of it, I still enjoyed a lot of it because of the Venom and Eddie Brock dialogue, and just their dynamic I think is so great and funny. But yeah, the overall plot I felt like kind of fell flat.
I don't. I got nothing else to say other than it was garbage.
No, I would agree on a lot of those points. I think I definitely share the same sentiment in the fact that it took really long to get to the point of why we were there. And I feel like we only got Carnage for 20, 25 minutes in the end until, he died too. So
Mm-hmm.
I would agree.
Yeah. And then like Shriek, like Naomi Harris, I felt like they had a compelling angle with her at first. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, Shriek, symbiotes don't like sound. I literally, like you said, very predictable. I knew how that ending was gonna go. But maybe because I'm so used to like Marvel doing a lot of like world building, like just literally just instantaneously like killing someone within like a 30-minute span, crazy to me. But both of them. So I feel like the
Yeah.
villain part of it was kind of blah, but I think like them focusing on Venom and uh Eddie Brock's relationship was the best. Like I definitely like I collect Funko Pops. A Venom with those glow sticks around him. I need a Venom glow stick Funko Pop. That scene was so funny to me. I really,
Wait, let me
You got those
see.
too?
huh?
I like those too.
Oh really?
Um,
Yeah.
I got. Well, I'm not gonna turn my computer because that's a lot, but I got almost all the Black Panther ones.
Oh really?
I just need three more.
Nice.
And then I actually just got the Oh yeah, yeah, they're right there.
Well, my collection's downstairs, but friend just got me the T'Challa Star Lord from What If.
I ordered that. I got that, and I got the Infinity Stone Killmonger.
Oh nice. Oh, okay.
What else?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it could be better, like the movie overall. But wasn't horrible. I love that scene with Miss Chen and like Venom was like talking through Miss Chen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess.
And that was really funny. Um yeah, but it's kind of crazy too because the cast was amazing. Like I was just talking to some friends about it. Like the cast, like Oscar nominated Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson, Michelle Williams, Naomi Harris. So
Hmm.
it's crazy to think that like gosh, it has so much star power and it didn't do that great. But I mean, we've seen it before. Um, but yeah, what about the post-credit scene?
That was the only beneficial part. So
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping. I hope it's not like. I hope it connects like immediately in the next Spider-Man movie. Like they have some, even if it's just like a something that connects the post credit scene to that. That'd be fire. I don't want it to be something that I have to wait like till next year for it to like. Oh, that's what that scene was for.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, I remember it was like Venom was like, "Watch this." Was that them being? Because we all probably at this point seen the No Way Home trailer. Is that them like moving through the multiverse and now is in the same? And like, I don't know if the trailer where you saw like Doctor Strange doing all this multiverse manipulation is that saying that Venom is now in the same universe as Spider-Man? I have so many questions around it.
I think it is.
Yeah, that's how I interpreted it.
He saw him. It's just he saw him on the same TV screen.
Yeah. And so, oh yeah,
I
that's
think they had to like explain later if it's going to be from either Doctor Strange or the stuff that happened in Loki.
true. And I mean, they're really building No Way Home to be just crazy because I'm assuming Venom will be in No Way Home now too.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't want to assume, but it feels like that would be natural, especially Sony's just trying to kind of throw all their properties in that movie as much as possible. But I know a lot of people think that this is Sony's way of taking Tom Holland out of the MCU like proper timeline into like a Sony one with Morbius and Venom. So we'll see if that happens or not. I really hope not, because Tom Holland is by far the greatest Spider-Man.
I really hope they don't like put him like in Sony because I don't trust Sony. I don't know. I just don't want.
Me neither. Not at all.
Especially after Venom.
Yeah. And they're literally the just writing off the backs of the MCU, which is so irritating to me. But at least we got another movie out of extended agreement, though. Yeah.
What did you all think was going to happen with the? I can't even think of her name. The girl, the blonde girl, Michelle Williams. Did y'all think? I thought they were going to end up back together, and she is going to dump the doctor. But I guess
really,
yeah.
Were you able to watch the first one beforehand?
Yeah, I did, and I'm really glad I did because it was good context. I would have been in there so confused if I didn't.
Yeah, I felt like, especially since he's moving to a different like multiverse, or I feel like it's good to. I felt like how he kind of felt like he had no place or whatever made it easier for him to transition. But I did like what they had, but I mean, I knew that they weren't going to get back together, especially since that guy was in the last season too, the last movie. But I feel like they didn't utilize Michelle Williams a lot in this movie. Like the scene where she was talking to Venom was kind of cool, but I just felt like it was very super potsy.
When he was trying to get him to apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't really understand the scene when they're falling from the building kind of at the very end, and they're trying to catch the guy, and Venom had to go through one person and then through another, and then the last person caught. I was like, that's kind of a lot.
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh, I understand about. Yeah, I didn't get understand.
Yeah, I was like, why they had to do all that? If
it was like, all right.
Yeah. But no, overall it was okay. It wasn't, my favorite movie by any stretch, but at the end of the day, it was a study break for me, so it was a good little escape.
Just saw No Time to Die. That was a great movie.
I know, I'm seeing that this weekend.
Yes, well, hopefully I'll see it this weekend, but yeah.
I might go again.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you say, a lot of people were saying it's Daniel Craig's best film? Would you agree?
No.
You said no?
Yeah, nah. I would say.
How would you compare it to?
Well, still my favorite from him.
You said Skyfall is?
Yeah.
Really? Casino Royale is my favorite, but you. So you're saying it's not as good as Skyfall?
To me personally. I just really like Skyfall. It was good though. I was thoroughly entertained. I just want to say we're on topic 007. The intro to 007 supposed to be so fire. I'd be so entertained just for that little 5-minute credit scene in the beginning. Fire. It hits every time.
For what? The Marvel fanfare?
No, like when it's hard to describe, but it's just like when they start doing like the credits, it's usually like probably like 10 minutes into the movie, but it's just like a bunch of animated stuff.
In Venom?
No, in
Oh
Double.
no, you're talking about 007. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about there.
Oh yeah, then he's like pointing the gun and dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Cool.
I'm excited to go see that.
What else y'all been watching?
What else?
Yeah.
Well, What If and Ted Lasso has come to an end. Sad fate.
Man, I'm sad.
I
I
know.
I didn't realize because when it came out Sunday or came out Friday, last Friday,
Friday, yeah.
I didn't realize that was the last episode because I binge watched it all that week, and I was like, "Oh, bet my new Friday show."
Oh, you didn't know it ended.
I was sick.
Yeah,
I love that show so much.
literally so good, Brie. I can't wait till you watch. It's so good.
I know it's on my list next. I finished a lot of stuff this week. I watched Wild Crimes on Hulu,
Hmm.
which I just kind of turned that on because it said crime in it, and I was like, "Oh, this must be about crime." So I just turned it on, but essentially, it's about this guy who takes his wife to the Rocky Mountains for, I believe, their anniversary trip, and she mysteriously falls like hundreds of feet off of the mountains, and he was like, oh, she slipped, and they're just trying to prove him wrong and all of that. So that was actually a really good docu-series. It's on Hulu. I also watched Blood and Water. Have you guys seen that on Netflix?
Let it know. But I saw people tweeting about it.
Yeah, this is a series that's based in South Africa, I think, and essentially it's about this girl who transfers schools, and her older sister went was kidnapped when she was younger, and she's trying to solve this mystery of who kidnapped her sister and all of that. It's really good too. The acting's okay, but I really liked it, and they just came out with season 2, so I wanted to catch up on that. It's a good series if you like that kind of stuff too.
Okay. And what about you?
I watched Midnight Mass on Netflix. That was really good.
Mhm.
So anybody that's watched, I guess, what is it? Hill House. I think it's like two of them. The Hill House movies. I think it's Blind Manor, and then I forget the other one. It's the same creator, and I believe the same actors from those movies. But it was really good. It's a slow burner. It's about 9, 10 episodes. It don't really get interesting, or like nothing really happens really until like episode 6. But after that, it's worth it. So that was really good. Um, Welcome to the Bloom House is on Amazon Prime. They dropped 2 new movies, and they just dropped the other 2. The first 2 were Black as Night. That's about vampires. I really like that one because it wasn't it's a twist on like typical vampire story, but it's like you're like it's about teens, so that should give you an idea of like the acting quality. Um, don't expect like some super 5-star movie. It's not all that, but it's a decent story.
Mhm.
Um, Bingo Hell. I don't like that one that much. It was about old people playing bingo. um, it wasn't that bad, but it was alright.
Mhm.
And then what else did I watch? I watched this new show called The Wonder Years on Hulu. That's a decent little wholesome show if you're watching horror movies and you need something to comfort yourself with afterwards. Check that out. What else have I watched?
What's that one about? I keep seeing it on Hulu, like as my recommended show.
I'm just gonna pull up the descriptions. I don't see them. Um, it's about as far as this boy, he's like in the 1960s, and it's like the typical kind of like blackish show, like those kind of black shows. But it just follows like a kid, and he's growing up, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But I liked it. I think it's just 2 episodes. I think the third might have dropped like today or something like that. But
Yeah.
it was
I
cool.
feel like Hulu is doing that a lot more as far as with their originals only dropping one a week. Instead of, dropping them all at the same time as Netflix. Which one do you guys prefer?
All at the same time. I'm a binger.
Uh, it depends. I like doing the once a week for the conversation purposes, like for Ted Lasso.
Mhm.
I'm in a Discord, and like every time a new episode drops, we give time to discuss it with people. But when you binge it, everyone's on like a different episode. There's
That's real.
no really hard to have a discussion until like the very end. You're like, just tell me when you finish it, rather than like each episode we can digest and things like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I also finished, or not finished, caught up with Only Murders in the Building. Um, they just put out a new episode. I think it was yesterday, so I haven't watched the new episode, but I think there's only two more, and I'm liking it so far.
I'm on episode 3. I was just watching it earlier today.
Yeah, it's
I'm
so
very
good.
hooked.
Yeah, I feel like I have no idea who did it at this point. Like, I really
Mhm.
have no clue anymore. So I like when
Yeah.
I'm stumped. I don't like to predict it all. So
I just watched, or going off your point, I do. It is sometimes kind of annoying because like I watched Squid Game like the day it dropped and just binge watched it, which was like middle of September, and then by the time like people started watching it and got all discussions, I was like, I'm over this. What's next?
Mhm.
I had already watched it 2 weeks ago, so um,
I sat
that's an
down.
opinion.
I sat down on my couch with the intent of watching that series, and then I just decided, no, not doing it. I was just like, no. What am I gonna do this for? I hate shows with that premise. I hate seeing people die. Like, and people are telling me that the whole premise is people dying if they don't win the game. So I'm not gonna put myself through it until I'm emotionally ready, and I was just not. So
Don't do
I
it. You're not.
I was going to push through it and suck it up for the show. But I sat down and I was like, I choose peace and I choose myself, and the answer is no. So
This
I have not watched it
this podcast supports mental health.
yet.
Thing you change yourself.
Choose
You are
peace.
not
Choose
missing
peace.
anything.
I don't say that. That show is fire. Um,
I heard mixed reviews.
Mm-hmm.
you heard one mixed review from my.
No, I heard on Twitter some people didn't really like it like that. But I also heard it was, doing well. Obviously, it was being talked a lot about, but I heard that the premise had been done before type of thing. So,
You said Red Rocket, so
was it in Korean or did you have to watch it with the English dubbed over it, or how did that work?
I'll do the English dub. I'm a dubber.
Mm,
One,
yeah,
you
I'm
gotta
not a
watch
fan.
Mhm. I started it, I think the first 3 episodes with just like in Korean with the subtitles, but I binged it all in one night because I'm like, we try to find meaning in all this bullshit.
Mhm.
And I get so tired, and I'm like, I just put the dubs on just so I can
Okay.
finish it in one night.
I be multitasking, so I watch everything dubbed. I don't have time for sub.
Yeah, I probably should do that, but I hate the sound of it being dubbed, and sometimes the meanings don't even be matching up, and that just irritates me. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, let me actually watch this when I have the time to sit down and watch it. But I also multitask a lot, so maybe I should give it another shot.
Yeah, there's one character in Squid Game. Her dubs sound horrible. Aunt knows exactly what I'm talking about. Homegirl with the long hair.
Yes.
God, I just want to just be like, stop.
all all the dubs sound the same. It's like the same actor.
Mhm.
I want his job.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of the things that I'm watching, I obviously talked about What If, and I've had mixed feelings about the finale there. I
Hold on.
felt you
What?
like it.
It's fire. I was turned watching that.
I mean, it was cool. I honestly like the previous episode more, but I love like the Natasha and Captain Carter bits the best. And I think the Watcher's really cool. I just hated Killmonger in that episode, but I guess he had to be like,
Yeah.
out of all the people in the multiverse, you choose this guy who just anyway. I don't want to spoil anything for Bria, but even though I kind of already did. Sorry. But I also watched the Walt Disney World 50th anniversary special on Disney Plus. It is so great. Halle Bailey performed. She sung, and it was amazing.
Oh, that's what that was. I kept seeing this clip of her singing. I didn't know if it was for the Little Mermaid. I didn't really do much research into it, but I didn't know that was on Disney Plus.
It was really good, really inspirational. But outside of that, I haven't watched a lot this past. Well, only Murders in the Building, but nothing that new. I see that they announced the next All American season. I think we talked about last a few episodes. So I think that's next week it's coming out, or I know it's sometime this month. So, oh yeah, sorry. On My Block, new season is out. I started that too.
Yes, I love that series. I haven't started the new season, but I love On My Block.
So far, it's good.
Okay.
I feel like slowly Caesar is getting more and more corny each season. But Ruby like makes the show for me. So
I heard that I know his name
Jamal.
outside of the show. Jamal. I was gonna say Brett. Yeah, Brett Gray. I heard he really carries it this season too.
Really?
So,
yeah, he has kind of, I can see that. So far, I can see that. He's hilarious. So yeah, that's what I'm watching.
Also note, it's a movie on Netflix called "There's Someone Inside Your House." Don't watch it. It's not.
I saw that too. What's that?
I just watched it before we got on here. It was.
Wait, give me the premise real quick. I think I might have watched that. Where she gets robbed or something.
Nah, it was like this. What's a horror story? You know about somebody dying. This dude, it's people getting killed, and they like the killer is wearing like their face.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something that's up my alley. I watched this other movie while I was getting my hair braided. It was about this lady whose house gets robbed. You know, it's like a typical Netflix horror film where, also pretty predictable, but her house gets broken into and her husband are trying to figure it out. And there's also been a kidnapping in the city and all type of stuff. So it's a little bit all over the place, but I can't remember what it was called. Let me look it up real quick.
I think I'm gonna watch Maid. I heard that was good.
Yeah, I feel like that's the new show. Like since Squid Game, most people have seen that. That's like the show that people are watching now. Just seen a lot of buzz around it. I haven't watched it though.
I'm gonna watch that. Oat Studios. I don't know what that is. I guess it's supposed to be like an anthology about post-apocalyptic worlds. So I'm like, all right, I'm tap in. I'm watching that movie with Megan Fox too, Till Death. I don't think it's gonna be good, but I'm gonna watch it.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't heard of any of those. I'll have to look into those too.
Yeah, me neither. I feel like I only hear about some of these things when y'all tell me about it. So
They're new, like they just got added. But actually, yeah, I'll watch that after. It's gonna be a long night, so I got plenty to watch. But all right, we're gonna talk about some Halloween topics now. So this first question, I thought about this last week, and I really wanted to ask somebody, so I waited till the podcast. As you all know, if you watch horror movies, often the premise is, one of the characters sees something, and they're trying to get other people to convince them that it's there, and people don't believe them. So my question for y'all is, would y'all believe? So imagine you have a significant other. Would y'all believe y'all's significant other if they were hysterical about experiencing something weird in the house, um, to the point where they wanted to like move or like leave or something like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why would I not?
Exactly. Like, you know your person. So, and shoot, I grew up in a very spiritual household. I remember my mom made my brother put the Harry Potter books in the garage. He had bad dreams. Like, I'm sorry, I believe in spirits. I believe in all that. So if something's not sitting well with somebody, I'll be the first to believe them. So absolutely.
Yeah, I think, well, I know that I would definitely believe them. And, of course, it's tricky getting up and moving and all of that. But outside of your partner, if a kid tells you something is off, you need to get up and go because those kids, they be knowing.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many times kids be like, oh, yeah, I saw this. Or like, that happened to one of my cousins one time. And I still I think about it often. But one time we were at my aunt's house and I went into the living room and he just sitting there talking, like to the wall. I was like, I looked at him and I was like, who are you talking to? And he said the name of somebody. And I've always kind of looked at him a little bit different. Not different because he's a kid, but like maybe he just had an imaginary friend. But I was just kind of like, I don't want to stay there no more because that all the vibes are bad.
Yeah.
And who is this? So I don't stay away from them.
My younger cousin, he's like 8 now, but he was like 3 at the time.
Still,
Yeah.
never want to meet him.
Right.
I don't know, man. I might just leave, to be honest. Nothing's he following you. So if we leave, you're just gonna follow us. We still got the same problem. But if I leave you, I'm free.
No, a lot of times when places are haunted, it's because the place is haunted. Like that's their place of rest and you're disturbing it. So if you go, then everything's good again.
That's crazy to think about.
Not that not that the person's the problem. It's a lot of times it's the place that's the problem.
I'd be so mad if I bought a house and it was haunted.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd be
what
pissed.
do I do? Can't just
Yeah.
up and move.
I wonder if there's people that you can hire to do like spirit readings and stuff before you buy a house. I might actually invest in that because if I'm gonna spend all that money on a house, I probably want someone to come in and be like, yeah, the vibes are good, type of thing.
The vibes are good.
My mom, she just prayed over it. She had her
With the
I'm
oil.
having holy water yet.
I'm like, that was good enough because I remember like the person who lived in mine, she passed away. And but it was an older woman, and I got kind of got creeped out. I remember, and it was like an abandoned house. I remember walking in, and it was just a picture of her on a frame, and I'm like, this is creepy. But I think juju is very good here.
My mom did that to our dorm too. She didn't because when I first went to Ohio State, the dorm that you saw on the campus tour wasn't the dorm that I was in. I was in one of the older ones. So she brought like her oil. She like put it on the dorm frame and all that type of stuff. I was like, Mom.
Whenever I
But
move, the first thing my mom makes me put up is a cross over the door.
whenever you move,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yep. And first, she having a blessing oil. She put it out on every wall. I'll be like, all right. Well, I'm on the couch over here.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a favorite horror film character?
I think I do. I remember, even though I'm very scary, I did watch The Orphan, and I thought that was very fascinating.
Yes.
Like, especially when she took out her teeth and she found she was an old woman. That seemed like it's still very vivid in my head. And I think I can't even remember the orphan's name, but I thought that she played that really well, and her character was really intriguing.
It's based off of a real story.
Seriously?
It was this she was oh, I can't talk. She had some type of disease that I'm guessing the girl in the movie had, but it was an adoption agency that was trying to adopt her off or whatever, and a family had brought her back, and then, back and forth, like, to the adoption agency, then to another family and agency, family all over again. And so then there was this one family that adopted her. They took her to Disney World, and when they adopted her, she couldn't walk. Like, she had a walker, like, she just couldn't walk. But then this is not funny. Then then they took her to Disney World, and they were playing on the beach, and she could walk. And so the mom was like, "What is going on?" Because we thought that she couldn't walk. And then she just could, so she was like, "No, something is actually off, like, something's wrong." But, like the typical white families, they just stuck with it, and then things ultimately started getting really bad. She started, like, threatening the kids and all of that, and then they took her to a doctor, and the doctor was like something about her teeth or the way that she was developed or something like that. They were like, "There's no way that this is an 8-year-old child like you say it is." That's terrifying.
That is.
What about you, Rhea?
Um, I'll be honest, you might just come back to me. I honestly don't watch a lot of horror movies. I always this wasn't probably one of my favorite ones, but I think one of the movies that kind of sticks with me the most is Chucky. Just because I don't know, just because I feel like I saw it as a kid, and I like the Child's Play movie. That was something that my uncle showed me one time. He just thought it'd be so funny, like that this doll was tormenting people. um, so I feel like it's not my favorite, but it definitely sticks with me the most.
I think I was
Uh,
terrified of that growing up.
No, same.
as people, anybody watches this on YouTube, as you can tell, Ghostface is my personal favorite. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's because of scary movie, but yeah, that's my favorite. Next question. You already kind of answered this, Maya, but what is something that has scarred you from a movie, if or a TV show or something, if that's a thing?
Scarred,
Yeah.
like horror wise. I would say you remember that movie Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf?
Hmm.
That movie, I think I may have mentioned that on a previous podcast. I slept with my parents for 3 months after that. I think I was in middle school. Something about seeing that face in that bag, I was done for. And that wasn't even like the scariest movie I've seen, but yeah, I think that it was just like just seeing that body bagged up. It just something about it. It just really freaked me out, and yeah, I've been scarred from it since.
I think I talked about mine a couple episodes ago with the human centipede. So that's something that's definitely stuck with me, and honestly, probably a big reason as to why I don't watch a lot of horror these days. But then another thing, I already don't watch a lot of stuff with exorcism or with spirits and stuff, but anything with an exorcism, I feel like has kind of stuck with me a little bit more because I don't know. It's like those are kind of scarring to watch, and I hope I never see one of those in person because
Um, I have two. The worst thing I've seen, I don't even remember what movie it was, but it was just weird. I just remember, I think I might have been flipping channels. I just came across it, and then it was this something was chasing this kid. He came to his room, and then he like trapped him on the bed, and he had this like big metal thing, and he put it like this huge contraption on his chest, and he just like cranked it, and it like just opened his chest while he was alive, and I was like, wow.
oh, do you know what movie that was?
I do not remember, but that was one of the
Mm.
worst things I've ever seen. Then he just took his heart out, and I was like,
Oh my
That's
god.
disgusting.
I was like, that's unnecessary. And then the second one is actually from CSI, and it happened when I was really young. Um, I saw it because CSI. Me and my mom would always watch Survivor together, and CSI would come on after. And they always do the killings like the first like 2 minutes of the show, so I didn't have enough time to leave the room before somebody got murdered. But I don't remember the full thing. I just remember like he killed the dude, the dude was on the ground, and then the killer like stabbed him in the eye, and that just always bothered me. So
Mm.
even to this day, I don't like anything coming in my eye. I'm a flincher. If anything comes in my face, I'm flinching. I'm backing up. I don't even like putting contacts in. So anytime I see, even in movies now, if somebody gets stabbed in the eye, it bothers me.
Mine is throat slicing. I literally can't watch anything where someone's throat is getting sliced, or I'll like have to hold my own throat. I don't know, it's like a reflex. Like I have to like hold my own throat, and I just instantly just have to turn it off and collect myself. Like I can't watch that kind of stuff.
That's how I am in like the bathroom. When I was a kid, randomly we used to scare each other all the time. But like if I'm bending over to turn on like the water for a tub, I'm always like looking back, or like if I'm in my car, like my back seat, I'm always turning around, like patting, making sure no one's
Oh yeah,
out. But I mean
same.
I think that's kind of standard, but I totally get that.
Next question. Bridges, I got this question for you mostly. You have a favorite true crime story?
Well, I have one.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
So I remember this was like a few years ago, the case against Anan Saeed. I think that's the first true crime podcast on Serial. And it's like this, he's like a 17-year-old boy, and his girlfriend was killed, like she was strangled. And basically, like there was so much evidence to like support he did, but there was so much evidence to say he didn't do it. And it was just so crazy hearing like back and forth them interviewing, and it was a podcast. um but in terms of like documentary wise, I guess would be considered true crime is Don't Fuck with Cats. I think that is the best documentary I've ever seen in my life. It was so good.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
No, I watched that. I think I watched that a couple of months ago because I always saw it pop up, but I just didn't know what it was about, so I never actually clicked on it. And after I actually watched it, like the first episode, I was invested. I was like, these people are really out here solving this crime. I got all the clues and stuff together, so that was really well done, in my opinion. And also the ending of that, where they do the side by side with the movie, that had me shook because he really thought he was just a main character in a movie.
That was insane.
Yeah, like essentially this guy, he was talking, or his mom was like, oh, his favorite movie was this growing up. And so when he finally got caught and was in the interrogation room, they put that movie and him side by side, all the mannerisms, like the hair flicks, the cigarette being put out, like the way he'd cross his legs, like all of it was him mimicking this guy that was in the movie, like this criminal that was in the movie. I can't remember the movie, but it was crazy. That was so well done, in my opinion.
Is that your favorite true crime? Oh, sorry, I'm about to get to it.
No, that's probably one of my favorite true crime documentaries. Let me here, I'll edit this out really quick, but there's one on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called. Let me actually Google it so I can get it right. I think that Netflix does a lot of true crime stuff very well. The one that I'm talking about, and oh yes, it's this one. And I really hate saying that this is my favorite one because there's just so much that could have been avoided here. but it's the one with the guy who's telling the like 8-year-old, "Oh, if we don't have a kid, then the aliens are gonna come get you." It's called Abducted in Plain Sight, and it's about this family, and they'd moved to this new city, and they have a neighbor who's been in the city for a while. The neighbor gets really close to the family, like really close to the family, to the point, I mean, I'll just spoil it and then I can take it out unless you guys want to actually go watch it. I won't if you want to.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, so essentially the neighbor gets really close to the family to the point where he's actually having sex with both the mom and the dad separately, and they don't know about it. And then also their parents are allowing him to have sleepovers with the daughter because he told them that he's a reformed pedophile and that's part of his therapy, that he has to be around kids to like help constrain himself. So he was having sleepovers with this 8-year-old. And then one day he just decided to take her. He just took her across the country to California, and they never called the police for like, I think it was like a month, because they were like, "Oh, he'll bring her back." And then he just didn't. And so the police had to go retrieve her. But he basically told her that if they didn't get married and have a kid, then the aliens were going to come take her and kill her family. So this poor 8-year-old was like really shook up by that and was like, well, we gotta make it work. So it's one of those stories that's like really sad, and it really sucks how much her parents actually failed her, because so much of it could have been avoided. But I think it's one of my favorites because it was so well done, but also I don't know. It's like a big handbook on like what not to do. It's like it's very obvious, but it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, people actually be out here doing whatever, and these be the consequences. So I really liked that documentary too.
That is insane. My God.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
True crime is the only thing I really don't watch. So that was most
You're
of
missing out.
that's
Netflix has a lot of good true crime.
Mhm.
You know, people who kill their wives and kidnapped kids, all type of stuff.
Mhm.
Serial killers. There's actually one I was watching it was yesterday. The Ohio State serial killer, rapist.
Dahmer.
Oh,
Billy,
oh.
Billy something is his name. But fun fact, actually I don't know this for sure, so it might not be a fun fact, but allegedly that's why they closed the tunnels across campus. Yeah, like the tunnels that would take you from South Campus to like the Oval and stuff like that, is because there was that phase of people. I did some research on it because my roommate told me about it, but there was like those few years where girls would just get snatched up, and so they closed those tunnels to mitigate the risk. Yeah, crazy
Oh,
world out here. Spooky,
yeah.
very spooky.
Speaking of crazy world, goes to the next question. Do y'all have any what about conspiracy theories? I feel like conspiracy theories can be kind of weird and creepy too. Mine is the um Denver airport.
Oh my, that is literally, I was
Wait, tell me
in
more.
Denver this weekend, stuck in the Denver airport. I was about to say the same thing.
All right, it's like literally the same.
Man.
Hold on. We'll start with the blue statue. I think that's the creepiest thing.
Oh, Lucifer.
Yeah. So it's a giant
What?
it's a Mustang, right? I think it's Mustang. It's a giant statue.
Bronco?
It's
Yeah.
blue, it's a horse with red eyes, and that's just enough as it is. A lot of people would say that it's supposed to represent the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, which is death. and actually the statue actually killed the creator, the guy that made it, because a part of it fell off and severed his leg.
And then they said that, and this is crazy. I just learned about this weekend. One of my friends, he lives in Denver. If y'all want to listen to any alien conspiracy things like that, Modern Gods podcast on all platforms. But they are even saying that like there's so much construction. It's crazy when you drive there. They're saying that they're basically like it's an area for aliens, or it's like some sort of facility for aliens or something like that too. So is that the conspiracy, like it's aliens? Like there's so many conspiracies about the Denver airport. And
then there's the mural that's supposed to represent like the New World Order. Apparently there's an underground bunker.
Yeah. Well,
and then apparently the shape of it, like the runways and stuff like that, is shaped like a swastika. And then I think there's a Illuminati or a Freemason symbol on
Yeah, I just looked it up and that was the first thing that came up. The headquarters of the Illuminati. Like what?
So
yeah, my friend was saying a guy who's like he was working at the airport. He ended up going down like a wrong elevator, and there's a bunch of guys in suits, something like that. I'm literally just learning about this, but I find that stuff so fascinating. And they even have like signage all around the airport too, like making fun of the fact that people think they're like aliens or they're doing some experimentation or whatever down there. So they have like a lot of those signs around the construction and things like that. It's interesting.
I heard about it on the podcast. I don't know. It just always creeped me out. I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories, but that one was just like, I don't know, it's just weird.
Yeah, that's
I have one that's not my favorite one, but it's one that recently popped up on my TikTok, and now I just kind of can't stop thinking about it. But the mattress firm conspiracy theory.
what is that? I
Oh,
thought you were going to say the Jay-Z headband. Sorry.
The what?
Jay-Z's hair is a wig.
I saw that too. I saw that too. That wasn't the one I was talking about, but I also wouldn't be surprised if his hair was so big. But essentially, the mattress firm conspiracy is that essentially, if you look up mattress firm on your Google Maps, there's an ungodly amount of mattress firms in clustered areas for no reason, but no one's really at mattress firm like that. So there was just a whole bunch of conspiracy theories going on as to why there were so many of these mattress firms. Like I think it's like sometimes there were just clusters of them in one space and like one across the street from another and just all these different things. Like you should look it up on TikTok. Like a lot of people have gone pretty deep into it. So that's a conspiracy theory that I've been like, if you just Google Google mattress firms near me, like you could probably find like 10 in like a 30-minute radius of you. Yes. So
there's two.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
Two right next to each other in Easton.
Yeah.
Two right next to each other at Polaris. There's two on the west side. I guess one's permanently closed. I guess that doesn't count. Well, yeah, why?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different theories about like money laundering and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, there's more mattress firms than what the heck?
Yes, that's what it was. There's yeah, it's like it's an insane amount of mattress firms. So do some research into that and kind of find yourself in the rabbit hole that I found myself in, because I was shocked when I learned about that conspiracy.
It's like the Walmart conspiracy that they were shutting down to using like store like I think it was military stuff.
What? They were
military stuff? I think that's what it was. I think they were saying like they had a bunch of Walmarts and then they were like closing them to like use them as spaces to store like military stuff for like more like government. I don't know, was it government control or something like that, or if like the government needed to do martial law or something like that. It's like, well, um you have army people coming out the Walmart 'cause that's where they've been stashed at this whole time.
Wow. That's a theory.
Yeah, I
I'm
never heard of that either.
That's the scariest thing to me is like horror films. I think if somebody made a horror film about just like all the stuff that like could be going on in the background, I think that would be what gets me. I can watch, slashers and stuff like that, serial killers all day. But if you make something about the government doing some shit behind the scenes, that's gonna give me sense. Like, damn, it really be happening. They're just doing whatever. And I would never know.
yeah. I feel like there's a lot, like, I don't even know. I don't follow a lot of it too because I'm like really protective of my algorithm. Because like I know TikTok, you watch one video and you're just like in it.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, the only one I've really heard of is recently heard of like is the Denver airport one. So
Yeah.
I've been meaning to look into more of them. They're interesting to read, but they do be weird. They weirded me out.
Yeah. No, I've what was the the one Unsolved Mysteries?
oh,
Where
and
they were where they were just kind of talking about those different stories, but there was one about someone who encountered this one city that was encountering a bunch of UFO sightings and alien abductions, and like all of them independently had the same story. But it made me think because you asked me about mine. I know it's going back to an earlier question, but you'd asked me about one of my favorite true crime stories, and this isn't one of my favorites, but I always think of this story when I think of criminals that do really well or like do their job really well, but
Good job.
not their job, but like criminals who are extremely smart and manipulative, and it's like, wow, you actually got away with a lot. But I don't know if you guys remember that story of the guy who got his way into the Christmas program in Ohio. I think he was in Columbus. It was one of the unsolved mysteries. He was in prison because he, I think, like assaulted and murdered a woman. And then he was like all buddy buddy with the guards, and they put him in this reform program. And so, which ultimately like gets you ready to go back into society. Problem number one, he was in there for life, so he doesn't need to be reformed to go back to society. He's in there like forever. So I don't know what they were doing there. But one of the activities was that they took them to a mall around Christmas time and said, go shop and meet us back here at 3 p.m. that man said, okay, and dipped. He's been on the run for all these years. I think that was like in the 70s, but he's been on the run since then because they thought it would be smart to take him to a mall, someone who's in prison for life. They took him to a mall and told him to go shop, and 3 o'clock came around. Everybody else came back. So I think they're the real dicks of the situation because I would have disappeared too.
right.
But like, yeah, he just didn't come back. And they said that he probably planned it because they like tried to get in touch with the girlfriend, like the family. Nobody said they knew where he was, but they could tell he was lying. So yeah. Crazy times.
No, somebody got fired.
I know, right?
Oh no. Well, that's all my questions as far as the Halloween topic. We gotta save some for the next episode. Y'all have anything else here I want to talk about?
No, I think I'm good. Insecure by this time, or by our next recording, we'll have our first episode of Insecure aired. So that's exciting. It's really cool to see all the stuff that she's doing to promote. And I wish right about now, I wished I lived in LA because there's so many theaters that are actually screening the seasons like completely in preparation for the new premiere. So I'm super excited for that. And then obviously you comes out on Friday, so I'm like holding my breath for that one too. I can't wait to watch it. But
Mhm.
Are
yeah.
we running the Clubhouse convos for those, or at least for you? I know we are for Insecure,
Yeah. I mean we can.
but
We should.
what's happened with us on the Spaces? Actually,
I
yeah.
see you on there a few times. It was like
Oh, when Instagram went
Instagram.
down, I was like, man.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. I forgot about that.
I was showing, but everybody. It was so many spaces. I've never seen that many spaces. But everybody was just off board. Instagram down. Everybody get on Twitter. I'm
No,
like,
it's
"Ah."
actually a shame that Clubhouse, you know, hit its demise like it did because that was a lot of fun. Clubhouse was a vibe until it wasn't.
They
So,
started. They
It was
started.
like a week. I think I was active.
yeah.
Then it was just like,
I think I was on there for like 2-3 weeks and then it turned into a bunch of drama and
Moan
then I just didn't go back on.
yeah.
rooms.
What'd you say it?
But I love
What you
like,
mentioned was moan rooms.
Oh, I
oh yeah,
forgot about
yeah,
that.
that was weird. That was weird.
That was
It was
actually
wild
crazy.
times, man. Pandemic times.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I remember my sister, she got so many Instagram followers from that too, because she was on like a sustainable or a fashion one. And then he's like talking about sustainable fashion. And this, oh, it was so funny. She got so many like heated debates and ended up meeting a lot of people through Clubhouse because of it.
Last
Yeah.
time I got on there was like a couple weeks ago. I got on there when the whole Karen Civil ordeal.
Aaron Civil. Hmm?
Yeah, so they pretty much. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm saying the right person. I'm pretty sure it was her though. They pretty much exposed her that she was being a fraud.
Oh, I
Yes.
vaguely remember this, but I could not tell you a single detail.
Pretty much. If y'all know who Jessie was, is she's a comedian, and like host and stuff.
Mhm.
I guess something went down between them, whatever, and then pretty much they just had beef, and then Karen Civil was doing all this stuff, like trying to pretty much like keep her from like breaking out in the industry and stuff like that. So the point where they went to court, and Jessie Wu won. So then after she won, she just aired it out on social media that like all the stuff she was doing behind her back and how she was just this awful person. And then at that point, Jordan Lucas had uh, joined in and added to it, and pretty much exposed her. I guess he said he before he like got big, he gave her $50,000, and she didn't like. She just pretty much ghosted him. And just took his money and went.
Yeah, okay, that sounds familiar now that you're explaining.
He
I
spoke
think,
to that, and yeah, they was putting her in a pack. So it was
yeah.
um just hella people on in Clubhouse um going back and forth. It was fried though. I was in there for like 2 seconds out of boredom, but it was just fried because again I got in there. It was the same old stuff. We were just old people yelling at each other.
Yeah. It got weird once the celebrities got involved. And I hate to say that, but like once there were rooms about Sweetie and or not Sweetie, wow, Mulatto and how if she should change her name. And then Kevin Hart joined a room about how he's not funny. And then, he felt like he needed to defend himself in the clubhouse room. And it just got weird. Like
Yeah.
when
Especially
celebrities got involved.
Yeah, those like the main rooms were like the pretty much the gossip rooms. Those were trash. But I remember I was
Yeah.
in a room with Kevin on stage and some other people, and then Yvonne Origi.
Hmm.
That was a very
Yeah.
entertaining room.
It also got to the point where I felt like people were intentionally putting celebrities' names in their rooms
Yeah.
to ultimately get the attention of the celebrity, and then they just wouldn't let the celebrity talk once they finally got the attention that they wanted. So I don't know, it just got a little strange, but it was a great concept. And I hope,
We'll do that for the spaces.
yeah, I hope like Spaces turns into something like that, or Clubhouse finds a way to rebrand and get it together. But I thought
Right.
it was a cool little era.
Yeah, just know you can have a conversation with anybody. I was
Yeah.
scared. It's an easy way to meet people or like
Right.
similar interests and stuff.
I actually met this one guy a couple weeks ago. He said, um, he met some people. He been going to like LA and stuff like that because he was linking up with people that he met at Clubhouse to make music with. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
People using stuff for the right way and not
Right.
in front of strangers.
All right. Well, that wraps up this episode of the Bingeverse. What is it? Can you do the tags and the follows?
Like,
Thank you.
share, subscribe, share with your friends, share the love. I'm gonna do this again because I just said I want to make sure.
Yeah, it's all good. I can edit that part out.
Comment. That's what I was missing. All right. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. When we run the Clubhouse convos or the spaces, make sure you join us. Tell your friends about that as well. Anything else y'all want to add?
No, that's it for me. See you guys next week.
What the fuck?
Is that someone at your door?
Yeah.
And that's not funny.
Someone's knocking your door.
Yes.
You gotta expecting a visitor.
No.
Look at the people first. Goodness.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
I just re-downloaded Clubhouse.
I know. I never stopped downloading it, but I turned off all the notifications because I felt like I kept getting like millions of notifications every day. Like this room, join this person, Ants live. Like, okay.
I
But
turned mine off too.
yeah, I had to turn those off. And then I got a notification, or I'd be like popping in there every once in a while. But a month ago, my dad joined Clubhouse, and I was like, it was like your contact Roosevelt just joined Clubhouse. Follow them. I was like, no.
That is funny.
I feel like my brain has been complete mush this whole episode. So sorry, guys.
No problem. I know you're sick, so hope you feel better.
I've been tired too.
Lots of tea, vitamin C, all that.
Yeah. No, I've been drinking tea around the clock, and I've been taking sinus and Mucinex too, because I took Sudafed last night, and I woke up this morning feeling much better, and then I was feeling pretty good throughout the whole day, and then right before we started recording, it like started hurting again. So I was like, well, perfect timing, but you know how that goes. So.
What the heck? I accidentally put into a room. All right, y'all. Well, have a good night. Then good blessings on finals, Bria.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm about to go edit this XO video.
I know I need to edit this show too.
She's like, so Anne is the videographer at the event I was at.
Oh yeah, Dahlia.
Yeah, she's there.
That was fun.
Really?
That was a long day. Saturday was a long day because I was there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to XO after. And XO was just too much. It was way too hot in there.
Yeah.
They made all those renovations. They added a stripper. You couldn't add AC? Come on, man.
Oh wait, what are we reviewing next week? I forgot to do the outro. Tune in next week.
I thought it was
2 weeks.
Or not next week, 2 weeks, yeah.
What do we want to review?
Let's see what comes out.
So
Insecure.
And next week,
Oh, yeah.
Dune next weekend.
Oh, yeah. We can do Dune. I think there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Let's do
That's
something.
22nd.
Let's we can talk about Doom, but let's like the main thing be something on a streaming platform.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh wait, no,
'cause-
Dune's going to be on HBO Max.
Okay, perfect. Then.
It is? Oh, I'm not seeing that in theaters. Bet.
Mhm.
I'm gonna watch that in the living room.
It's going to be on HBO Max.
When does that come out?
The 22nd.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know. 'Cause I
Okay.
definitely may go see that. I don't have to.
Do we want that to be our official thing for next time?
You can put that for now, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's you.
Well, it's gonna go on the website, or it's gonna go in the podcast or in the show.
Yeah, that Insecure and You. I get a catch up on You.
Okay. Cool. Let me do the outro real quick. Oh, we didn't.
Oh,
We
we do
didn't
that.
record that ad too.
Yeah.
Damn.
What we doing?
Huh?
What we do for that?
It's an Anchor ad, so it's like the platform that we're using to post and distribute. Here I'll share my screen real quick. It's essentially like, okay, it's essentially, it's essentially basically being like, you should use Anchor to do your podcast too. We have a script. It's like these are our talking points. So,
Are you able to copy and paste that?
Hmm?
You able to copy and paste it?
Mhm.
Yeah, just throw that in the chat.
Okay. Mm. Okay. Chat. Let me do the outro real quick, and then I'll stop the recording, and then we can do this real quick. All right, tap in with us next time. We're going to be reviewing Doom and You, so make sure that you catch up on those before our next episode. We'll also be talking a little bit about Insecure because obviously the new series is going to, or the new season is going to premiere. So be sure that you're caught up on all of those and tap into the conversation with us in 2 weeks for our next episode. See you guys next time.
I thought you said Doom instead of Doom.
I mean, it was just how.
Doom. Maybe it's because I'm congested. You go do it, yeah.
Didn't know.
Oh, it's okay. I can edit it out.
No, I think it's fine.
Okay. Okay, let me stop the recording.